Our Chris Broussard sat down with LeBron James for an article in ESPN, the magazine that hits newsstands Friday. And LeBron had this to say about his relationship with Michael Jordan. He's somebody who I looked up to, and I've never had a conversation with him about the game. I would love to sit down with him and just know exactly what he was going through and know what was his mind frame throughout all his special years, throughout his pains, not being able to get past Detroit, then overcoming Detroit, or asking him, why did you retire? What made you come back? What made you come back again? Everything that we all think we know. Well, sounds like he wants more of a relationship with MJ. Do you think he should have one? Should MJ warm up to LeBron?
Well, first of all, let's not accuse MJ of not warming up to LeBron. We don't know what LeBron has done in terms of reaching out to MJ and whether or not MJ has rejected him.
That's fair.
MJ is not the kind of individual that rejects guys that reach out to him. He's also not the kind of guy that's going to go out of his way to reach out to anybody. You understand, MJ is a businessman. He's an individual that is universally recognized as one of and arguably the greatest basketball player that we have ever seen, a six-time champion, a six-time NBA Finals MVP. He's done it all. And when you look at a guy like LeBron James, obviously I think that MJ wanted him to represent the Jordan brand at one point in time or another. You know what kind of hype he had coming out of high school. All I'm going to say is this. I don't know because I've never asked MJ that question. I've never asked LeBron James that question. It would be unfair for me to sit there and say definitively one way or the other what they feel because I've never asked them about in terms of communicating with one another. I know MJ has profound respect for LeBron and his game. I know LeBron reveres Michael Jordan. I also know that Michael Jordan felt at least at one time like, wait a minute, before we anoint this dude, let's make sure he goes through the necessary trials and tribulations and wins a world championship. I want to applaud Chris Broussard for doing the interview. I want to applaud LeBron James for giving Chris Broussard the time to do that interview because that's something that LeBron, I believe, needed to do. But that's just me. In the end, I think what it comes down to is that as you look at LeBron moving forward, if you want a relationship with Michael Jordan ain't hard to find. Michael Jordan's right there in Charlotte. He's got a house in Florida, but he lives in Charlotte as well. You got to come there during the season, at least twice a year. It's not hard to get MJ's number. Okay, he can get it. Trust me on that. I kind of think he can he could get it. You understand? And I'm sure if he reached out to MJ and wanted to meet up with MJ to have a conversation, MJ would welcome it. But MJ, at the same time, if you're LeBron James and your destiny is to be recognized as the greatest of all times, then maybe, just maybe, MJ wants you to go through what MJ went through en route to being recognized as the greatest, as opposed to having a pathway cleared for yourself.
Are you suggesting that you blame LeBron more than MJ for their lack of contact?
I don't want to use the word blame because I don't think anybody's at fault here, but I don't believe, Skip, that if LeBron reached out and wanted to talk to MJ about the game, that MJ would deny that. Carmelo Anthony, when I interviewed him last December, talked about how he was in Jordan's home, and Jordan woke him up one day at like 3 in the morning and said, come on downstairs, and literally showed him things that transpire on the court that makes him virtually unstoppable as an offensive player. I said, LeBron, what did he do? He said, can't tell. I'm sorry, Melo. I said, Carmelo, what did he do? Melo said, can't tell you that. Can't share that with you. You understand? He said, MJ showed it to me. It's mine. I ain't giving it up. But MJ showing you that. Kobe having conversations with MJ on numerous occasions in the past.
To answer this question, we have to assign some responsibility.
Well, I'm just saying, say responsibility as opposed to blame. I'm just telling you the responsibility I think falls on the shoulders of LeBron.
Oh, do you? Okay, because I was taking it the other way.
No, I'm saying if you reach out to him, MJ shouldn't have to reach out to LeBron. That's all I'm saying. If you want MJ's counsel, you should reach out to MJ.
Okay, my first reaction reading these quotes, they came across very poignant to me. They came across like a son who'd never had a chance to meet his father, because LeBron grew up idolizing Michael Jordan in a way that was almost scary. And then I thought LeBron made the mistake of trying to be Michael Jordan right out of high school, to carry on the tradition. He chose 23, obviously. He chose to continue the pregame powder toss, which I thought was disrespectful to Michael, and I don't think Michael loved that. And I know Michael well enough to say, and you made the point, Michael wanted him to earn it before he tried to show everybody he was the heir apparent. You got to start earning it on the court. And it did take LeBron 9 years to win his first championship, and I don't think Michael respected it that much at that point. So has Michael mellowed? Sure he has. Would he sit down with LeBron now? I assume he would. But I will say this. These two humans are very different, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
That's true.
LeBron James has a big, good heart to me. He's a good-hearted, he's still got a lot of kid. I was going to call him a kid. He's obviously a man, but he has a lot of kid in him. Michael still has an assassin's heart. It can be a cold heart. Michael, even though obviously he wasn't a teammate with LeBron, he's got that Brett Favre thing going. Like, if they had been teammates, Michael would not have tried to help LeBron along because he just doesn't play that way. He doesn't play that game. He's Michael Jordan. Now, you show me you can be Michael Jordan, then I'll sit down and talk to you. And again, LeBron's on his way to showing Michael he's doing it at the highest level.
Indulge me for a second, both of you. Number one, Kobe's much more like Michael.
No doubt.
Than LeBron is.
No doubt.
Kobe's an assassin. It's the kind of thing Dwight Howard alluded to, according to my sources, when he looked at Mitch Kupchak and those boys and said, "I'm a nice guy. I'm a human being. I got a heart. I don't know if Kobe has one."
Yeah, I know.
You know, when he was about to go out of the door in Houston. I got no problems with Kobe. I love the way Kobe is. It works for him. Works for Michael Jordan. But that's not LeBron. That's not Dwight Howard. Let me also say this, and I've said this to you privately, Skip, but I'll share it with our audience right now. One of the things, because I think it alludes to this very, very subject we're having. LeBron James, years ago, before he won his titles, it was not Michael Jordan. Let me preface my comments by saying that, what I'm about to reveal to you. It was not Michael Jordan. But I had numerous, and I do mean numerous, Hall of Famers come up to me, this is prior to LeBron winning the championship, and said, "Stephen A., somebody's got to help us. We cannot take this man getting the pass that he's gotten. He is universally recognized as the greatest player in the game today, the complete package, and y'all sit there and y'all celebrate this dude to the skies, okay? And he hasn't won anything yet." They said, "We never got that luxury. We didn't get the endorsements. We didn't get the hype. A matter of fact, we had to pay one hell of a price. We had to make sacrifices that you couldn't believe for ourselves, our families, etc., because to capture what all of you folks in the media are giving him. You got to hold him accountable, because if LeBron James continues to be celebrated on this level without having ever won a championship, it will set the stage for all of those guys to follow, that they never have to win in order to get the shine, because y'all are giving it to them without it. You got to hold them accountable. So now LeBron James is going to 3 straight NBA finals, and he's won 2 NBA championships. And you know something? He's universally respected and appreciated more so than ever before, especially by somebody like me. But the reason for it is because those Hall of Famers said this is the mandate that they wanted him to meet, because they were worried about him sullying the sport by being celebrated for something other than winning. So LeBron has to appreciate that, even though MJ isn't the one that said that to me, MJ may very well have been one of the individuals who shared that kind of thinking.
No doubt.
Which is why it's even more important.
I agree.
If you want to have a relationship with MJ, you reach out, because that's what MJ had to do. And people before MJ, Dr. J's with the Connie Hawkins, and, you know, Connie Hawkins with the Elgin Baylors and the Oscar Robertsons, and the list goes on and on. People who came before you had to reach out to predecessors. It wasn't the other way around.
You leave it there?
Yes.
Shall we move on to our next topic, gentlemen?